Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so according to the book Epileptic Encephalopathies, Dravet syndrome affects 1 in every 20,000 children. So the reason I know so much about Dravet syndrome is because my younger brother was diagnosed when he was 2 months old. So it's important to know about Dravet syndrome because it's a form of epilepsy, and epilepsy affects very many people all over the world, and more awareness needs to be brought to it. So I'm going to talk about Dravet syndrome, which is a form of epilepsy. And so I'm going to tell you guys that Dravet syndrome is a mutation of a gene. It causes severe mental development problems, and then there are few treatments and medications for it. So Dravet syndrome is caused by a mutation in the genes. Specifically, according to DravetFoundation.org, it is caused by the SCN1A gene. And if you look behind me to my PowerPoint, you can see in the first drawing it is a representation of your chromosome 2. And you can see where the arrow is pointing, that is where your SCN1A gene is located. Now everybody is born with 2 copies of this gene, and what happens is that one copy becomes inactive because of a mutation. So that causes a condition called haploinsufficiency. And so what that means is that because you only have one functioning copy, you only have 50% of your normal channel levels, which is insufficient to prevent seizures in your body. So the way that this gene can mutate can be in all kinds of different ways. So according to Dravet Foundation, the one type of mutation is a nonsense mutation, which means that the protein that is made by the gene becomes inactive, so the protein just doesn't work at all. And then a different type of mutation is called a point mutation, which means that the amino acid that is created that builds the protein is changed. So either the protein is changed or it's a completely different protein, so it just doesn't do what it was supposed to do. So if you look at my second picture, this is a representation of a sodium channel, which is in your brain. And so it has 3 different representations of different mutations that can happen: a truncation, a splice site, and a missense. And so it gives you different areas on the sodium channel where these mutations can happen and can keep your sodium channel from working. So because this disorder causes seizures, the seizures then cause a lot of brain damage. And so from the brain damage, these children have severe mental development problems. So for instance, my brother is 16 years old, but mentally he is only 5 years old. So because of this, my brother will never be able to be independent. So he constantly has to be watched even when he's sleeping. We have a nurse that comes in at night and watches him while he's sleeping because he has seizures during his sleep. That's when he has most of the seizures, is at night when he's asleep. So we also have to fix his food, help him get dressed, give him baths. If he wants to watch a movie or something, we have to turn on the TV and put on his TV show or his movie, whatever he wants to do, because he doesn't know how to do it, and because of his brain damage, he won't ever be able to learn. So because this disease is so severe and it's a genetic disease, then it's so far incurable, and there are very few treatments or medications that actually work to help reduce the symptoms. So because of the type of seizures that are caused, they are, according to epileptic syndrome, they are very resistant to any anti-seizure medications. But a new type of treatment that has recently become more known and more researched is medical marijuana. In an article written by Time magazine, it states, the plant, grown by 5 brothers in Colorado through a nonprofit organization called Realm of Caring, is low in THC, the compound that produces marijuana's psychoactive effects, high in CBD, a compound believed to reduce seizures in those suffering from certain forms of epilepsy. It is administered to epilepsy patients, including many children, in the form of an oil. And now the good thing about this is that the children don't smoke it. They take it in an oil. So you're not actually smoking anything. And it has such a low amount of THC that no matter how much oil you take, it can never get you high because there's almost no THC in it. So in another article written by Dave Phillips in the Gazette of Colorado Springs, he states, "Though a handful of children who tried the oil saw no benefit, the vast majority have seen seizures significantly reduced with no negative side effects," said Dr. Margaret Getty, a Colorado Springs physician who was tracking the young marijuana patients. Of the 47 patients who started taking the oil this fall, 28% saw an 80% reduction in seizures, she said. Another 49% reported some reduction in seizures and enough other benefits, including improved mood and awareness, that they continue to use the oil. Now, a lot of these medications that doctors actually prescribe to help these children have very negative and bad side effects. For instance, my brother used to take a drug called Onvi, and some of the side effects that this drug could have caused that he actually had was fatigue, aggressiveness, vomiting, and the more severe one from this medication was a horrible skin rash. And the skin rash could happen all over your body, even in the inside of your neck. And what it would do would cause blisters all over your skin, and then your skin would fall off. And because it was so severe that it would actually kill some of the people that this happened to. And you could be taking this for like a couple years, and then all of a sudden it would start happening out of nowhere. And you could potentially, it's very life-threatening. So, and other general negative side effects of the anti-seizure medications are sleepiness, headaches, irritability, throat irritations. So, compared to the anti-seizure medications that these children have to take, medical marijuana seems like a safer option. So, now you know that Dravet syndrome was caused by a mutation in the SCN1A gene, which is on chromosome 2. You know that it causes severe developmental problems, and that it is incurable, and there are few treatments and medications for it. So it's good to know about Dravet syndrome because more awareness needs to be brought to it, because not many people actually know what Dravet syndrome is. And the more awareness we bring to it, the more research will go into it to try to help find a cure or some better treatments for it. So hopefully you were able to learn about what Dravet syndrome is, and I hope that you will take this information and try to help educate others about it too.